Hey guys, it's Penguin here and welcome back to another gold making video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the importance of profession racials right now in Dragonflight, and also we're going to be talking about the hidden skill bonus that many people don't know about. You guys will quickly see that these two things play hand in hand with each other, so that is why we're combining them into a single video. Now, fair warning, there will be some math in this video, but I'm going to try to simplify it, make it as simple as possible to hopefully not lose anybody. But without further ado, we are going to dive right into this concept. If it's helpful, feel free to leave a like or even subscribe if you want to see more. I really do appreciate it, and let's go. And so to get started, let's actually talk about the bonus and what exactly is going on. So I think the best way to show this off is first to just craft an item. And we're going to take a look at tailoring. We'll switch up our professions in just a little bit, but let's take a look at some crafts. Right, for example, if I were to craft this chronocloth bolt, because of my skill, you can see right here, I don't have enough skill to reach quality 3. You know, my skill is obviously below recipe difficulty, so by taking a glance right here, I should be able to guarantee a quality 2. If I wanted to craft a quality 3, I would have to rely on inspiration at first glance with this current setup. If we take a look at this recipe right here, you know, my bar is maxed out, my skill is obviously higher than the recipe difficulty, and therefore I can produce a quality 3. Going right here to the vibrant bolts, at first glance, yet again, I can only produce a quality 2, and I should only be able to produce a quality 3 if I get inspired. Let's say I want to try to, max this out as close as I can by using higher quality materials. I can check this mark. I get super close. I'm at 291, but still looking at this chart, I still can't guarantee quality 3. However, what if I still sometimes can? And so let's quickly just test this out and craft a few of these items. And immediately you actually see what's going on here, right? Just at first glance, our first craft was a quality 3. And you're probably thinking, whoa, Penguin, you can't craft quality 3s, you can only craft quality 2s. What's going on? That must be inspired. But I did not. I just was able to proc some extra skill, and that actually gave me the next highest quality. It happens right here, and then our final craft was actually an inspired proc, just as normal, just as expected. So Penguin, what is going on? And this is the hidden skill bonus. And so what this bonus is that every time you craft an item, you gain anywhere between 0 to 5% extra skill. Now that percentage is based off of recipe difficulty, so in this case, this recipe has a recipe difficulty of 300, so 5% of 300 is 15, so every single time I craft a bolt, I'm gaining anywhere between 0 to 15 extra skill. Now, the reason why this is a little bit harder to detect is because, for example, if we go back to using quality 2 bolts, 254 plus 15, if I got a 5% proc, that puts us at 269. And once again, that really doesn't do anything. I still craft a quality 2 because I'm not over 300, etc. However, in our case of us being super close, basically within 5% of that recipe difficulty, it does truly make a difference. Because right here, maybe this, our first craft, we gained 15 extra skill, so my skill of 291 turned into 306, therefore I produced a quality 3. No inspiration needed, nothing at all. And so this brings us to our first important point, which is if you cannot guarantee the highest quality of an item just because of, skill barriers, you just can't get enough skill through specializations, leveling up your profession, all of that, you want to be in at least 5% of maxing it out. So yet again, in this case, 5% is 15 skill out of 300, so our goal is to have at least skill 285, and we actually meet that. Now, on top of this, this goes a little bit deeper, Because remember I said that you gain anywhere between 0 to 5%. So I could proc 1% skill, I could proc 2%, etc. And in that case, let's say I do proc 2%. 2% in this case is 6 skill. So I take my 291 and I add 6, I'm at 297, and yet again, I can only produce a quality 2. So in that case, yes, I'm technically getting extra skill, but it doesn't help. And so not only do you want to be within 5%, you literally just want to be as close as you can to the recipe difficulty. Of course, guaranteeing is amazing, but if not, I want to be at 299, I want to be at 300, I just want to be as close as I can. And this is when the importance of racials actually really start to show. Now, there is no +5 skill for tailoring, however, there is the Kultiran race, which gives +2 skill for every profession. So in this case, my max right now as a Blood Elf is 291. If I was a Kultiran, I could get up the skill to 293. Now you're probably thinking, alright Penguin, does that 2 skill really make a difference? And the answer is yes, and the difference is pretty significant. And this is when we're going to actually start doing some math. So bear with me, I'm going to explain this as easy as possible. And just a side note before we dive in, I did not create any of these formulas or anything like that. There has been many people in the WoW community who has been trying to figure out these equations, and a handful of them did, including the CraftSim developer. So I am taking all of their information, everything that they've used to explain this, to help explain it to you guys. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up, and here we go. And so I'm repeating myself, but like I mentioned, every single time you craft something, you gain anywhere between 0 to 5% skill. But what I didn't add is that you get this at an even rate. So the chance of getting 5% versus 2% is the same chance, it is evenly distributed. So we can use, uniform probability to help us out. So the first thing we need to do is calculate how much missing skill we are missing in terms of a percentage. So, looking at this tailoring character right here, I am currently missing 9 skill. Now, we need that 9 skill in a percentage, so the 9 skill out of 300, and you can do this in 2 ways. Firstly, for our non-math people, you can literally just open up Google and type in 9 is what percent of 300, and it's going to say 3%. There you go. If you guys do enjoy math, I will have the formula on screen, but either way, if you ask Google or do it yourself, you're going to get the answer 3%. Then we're going to take the percentage and plug it in to the formula on screen, and then you're going to be greeted with likely a decimal number. In our case, we're going to get 0.4, turn that into a percentage, and so our answer is 40%. And what this final percentage is telling us is that at my current skill level, this hidden skill bonus has a 40% chance to increase my quality. So every single time I craft this item, that hidden skill bonus has a 40% chance to actually craft a quality 3 instead of a quality 2. Now, that is not including, my 23% chance of being inspired. You can inspire and have this bonus go off at the same time. Resourcefulness, multi-craft, all of that. We are not going to include any of that. This is strictly just the bonus. But, alright, sweet. We know right now if I'm missing 9 skill, I have a 40% chance of making a quality 3. But, let's try it out with the Kultiran racial buff. So now, because we have +2 skill, I am no longer missing a 9 skill, I am only missing 7, which is 2.33%. Yet again, you can use the formula, or you can just simply ask Google. We take that percentage and plug it in to the same formula, and we are graded with 53.4%. So automatically, just by getting this racial, by getting 2 skill points, we have increased our percentage by 13.4, almost 13.5%, which is a pretty huge increase, right? For basically nothing, for just changing the race of our character, we have gone from 40% to 53.4. Yet again, not including, inspiration and all of that. But this is where we can actually start seeing the power of the racials. And I know this is not a perfect example because this item is very cheap, so we're going to transition into a different example. And here we go. I am currently transitioned over to my scribe, and we're going to take a look at these buzzing runes. Currently, right now, I have my maxed out profession. I've maxed out all of Fauna runes. I also have maxed out rune mastery, and whenever I use quality 2 chilled runes, I have 290 out of 300 difficulty. So I am within that 5%, which is awesome, but let's see how big racials play a part into this. And we're going to use the exact formula as before. Currently, I am missing 10 skill out of 300, so we do our quick little formula, and I'm currently missing 3.33% skill. Plug that in to our ending formula, and we get a final percentage of 33.4%. So this hidden skill bonus just on its own has a 33.4% chance of crafting a quality 3 instead of a quality 2. Now, because Inscription actually has a standalone racial bonus, if you are Nightborn, you actually gain plus 5 skill, which is a lot more significant than plus 2. At a very basic level, remember we talked about proccing 2%, which 2% of 300 is 6 skill. At the current moment, at my current skill, 290 plus 6 is only 296, therefore it doesn't help me, but if I was a Nightborn, that would actually bring me to 301, therefore it does actually help. So just at a base level right there, you can see the difference. But let's calculate it. So with my plus 5, I am no longer missing 10 skill, I'm only missing 5, which is 1.67%. Plug that into the final formula, and we get an answer of 66.6. Basically, we have doubled our percentage, doubled our chance of actually having this bonus help us, which is extreme, especially in bulk crafting. Having a 33% chance versus a 66 is huge. And we can actually take this one step further, and CraftSim actually has this built in to its system. So right here, if we actually kind of, update our prices, there we go. Currently, if I were to craft this without any sort of racial bonus, I am actually losing 3.3 gold because chilled runes are just way too expensive for the final products. However, if we go into quick simulation mode and give ourselves plus 5 skill, as you can see, this craft actually turns into profit of 9 gold. Now, of course, you're probably thinking, oh, 9 gold profit is not that much, but remember our crafting cost is only about 34 gold, and that is 9 gold profit versus negative 3 gold profit. So we basically have changed our profit margin by 12 gold, which is insane for simply changing the race of your character. And yeah, that is the math behind the hidden skill bonus and really the importance of racials. But you're probably thinking, Penguin, you just spent, 20 minutes explaining this system, yet all of your characters are Blood Elves. And that is very true. At the end of the day, in terms of the racial importance, really depends on your gameplay and what you think is most important. As somebody who only plays Horde, as somebody who really only plays Blood Elves, I take a hit on gold because I don't want to race change all of my characters, and I really don't want to play Alliance. But there's many people out there that don't care about the race they play, they simply just are here to make gold, and that is perfect, right? You guys should definitely race change, and I have a few suggestions for you. At the end of the day, all racials are technically important, but there's about 4 specific racials that are super important compared to others. The first one is, of course, Nightborn right here, for the exact reason I just showed you. You can make a ton of gold with buzzing runes, as well as the runed Wraithbark, and the chilled runes and all of that by being a Nightborn. The second one is being a Goblin for Alchemy. Alchemy right now has some extremely low profits or some extremely slim profits, and you can significantly increase that if you are a Goblin. Then you probably have the most important racial that many people will suggest, and this is Draenei for jewel crafting, most importantly for prospecting. Like we've mentioned, right, our end goal at the very least is to be within 5% to take advantage of this bonus. Currently, anybody who is not a Draenei cannot take advantage of the 5% bonus because they're not in range. It's literally impossible, you can't do it. However, if you are a Draenei, you get +5 skill, and you're actually able to achieve that 5% region. So not only does this give you a better percentage, it literally goes from 0 to, a certain percent. I will have that percentage on screen, but it's ridiculous. Then lastly, I would say the last important one is Blood Elf for enchanting. A lot of the higher end enchants you can't actually max out, but with the +5 skill, you can take advantage of this bonus. Now, of course, like I mentioned, all racials are important. So you have, Dark Iron Dwarfs for blacksmithing, you have Gnomes for engineering, you also have Kultaran for literally anything that's not listed because it gives +2. So definitely feel free to take advantage of everything. At the end of the day, it comes down to you on if you think this is worth it to you or not. But yeah, everybody, I hope this video kind of helped. I know it's a lot of math, I know it's a lot of talking, but hopefully you're a little bit more comfortable with hidden skill bonuses, and maybe this racials and all of that has opened up some gold making opportunities for you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I will try my best to answer them. But as always, have a good day.